Laptops are awesome because they're a computer on the go. I took mine to CES, but since I didn't have a whole lot of storage, I had a lot of media that I couldn't do anything with, so I couldn't edit any videos for this Bytes4You so you guys can see. I had to wait till I get back. So we're going to be upgrading the storage, or the M.2 SSD, to a 2 terabyte from a 512 gig. But the problem is, how are we going to move all the data over? Because not only is this larger, but it's faster too. So in this video, we're going to use EaseUS Disk Copy to move everything over. Thank you, EaseUS, for sponsoring this video. So let me show you how to get started. So first, we're going to open up a web page, whatever browser you want to use, and we're going to go to EaseUS.com. We'll hover over data management, and then we'll go to disk copy, and then we can just download it from here. Oh, they have a discount right now. We can try it free and we'll download it. Now, the software itself isn't free. It's 20 bucks a month, or you can go per year, or you can go for the lifetime upgrade. I'd probably go for the lifetime. It's a lot cheaper. After you download and install it, you'll just want to go ahead and start it up. Now, before we actually clone anything, we have to check a few things. First off, if we're going to a 2 terabyte or larger drive, we need to make sure that we're under UEFI and GPT. To check that, we can click on the start button here, type in MS info, and we'll click on system information. And on this page, we could see under BIOS mode, UEFI. That means we're good there. But if we're under legacy, we're going to have a bit of an issue, and you can ask me down below. I'll provide you a link on how to upgrade everything. But aside from that, the next thing we need to check is your current C drive. So we'll right click on the start button and we'll go to disk management, and then disk 0 or whatever has your C drive, we'll right click on that. We'll go to properties, and then we'll go to volumes. Under volumes, under partition style, if it says GUID, partition table, or GPT, you're good. But if it says MBR or legacy, we're going to have to upgrade again. And you can ask me down below and I'll help you with that as well. So we'll go ahead and cancel here. As it is right now, we're perfect. We're under UEFI on a GPT partition. So now we're going to have to upgrade our machine. Now, I'm lucky in the sense that my laptop has 2 M.2 slots. One is already currently used by the current C drive, and the other one can be used for an additional drive. The slot that's used right now is a Gen 4, so it's fast. The slot that is open right next to it is a Gen 3, so it's a little bit slower. So I'm going to clone the current C drive and then move the new drive to that slot, and then the old drive to the other slot, so we have 2 drives. Now, we can always use something like this to clone it so that we can just stick our M.2 drive right in and we can clone it from there in a live environment. But this is a lot slower, so I'm going to do it with the drive inside of the system. But just know you can always use this as well. You can find links for EaseUS Disk Copy and everything in this video in the description below and the pinned comment. So now that we've already installed it and activated it, I'm just going to go ahead and shut down for now. All right, so after shutting down the machine, we'll grab the laptop and we'll open it up. If you're not sure if your laptop has an additional M.2 slot or an additional SATA slot or an additional SATA cable, let me know the exact model number and manufacturer of your laptop, and I'll do what I can to help you out on that. All right, after opening it up, here we find the main M.2 drive, and then we find the secondary M.2 slot. So we'll just grab the M.2 drive. We're using a Kingston Renegade Fury drive. Just install it right here. And actually, we need to remove this screw. If you only had one drive, again, you would use something like this while your machine was on, and you would transfer everything. So then afterwards, you would take that drive that you transferred everything to and replace this drive. But again, thankfully, we have 2 here, and then we'll screw that down. The entire process, internal or external, through the software will be the same. Now, because I'm going to move the drives, I'm going to keep the screws out just for now. Now that you've inserted a new drive, don't worry, you're not going to have to format it or partition it. EaseUS will take care of the entire thing. If you're unsure of the manufacturer and model number of your laptop, you can just use HW info. I'll have links for it down below. Closing out of this. When you click on your machine up here, it'll tell you computer brand name, Acer, Nitro, whatever yours may be. Just let me know down below and I'll help you. Opening up EaseUS again, now that we've downloaded it and installed it. A new drive on this computer was found. Do you want to migrate the OS to the new drive? Yes, we do. So that takes care of a lot for us. So that immediately puts our C drive that has Windows 11 on it as the source drive, and that puts the new drive, the Kingston 2 terabyte M.2 drive, as our target drive. So all we need to do is click next. And then here with the auto fit selection, it automatically sets our target drive to look just like our C drive, but it gives us all of that expanded space already free. We don't need to configure it. If you wanted to, you can click on here and edit the disk layout, but we don't need to for now. You can always take care of that later if you need it. And then we'll click proceed. The data on the target disk will be erased. Please ensure you have selected the correct disk and click continue to start. Since we're putting it here so that we can use it as a C drive, yes, we're going to erase everything on the target. The target is the new drive. Source is the original, older and smaller drive. And then click continue. Depending on the speed of the original drive and the new drive and how you have it connected either internally or external through USB or whatever, this may take a while. Could take anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours or even more. Once this is done, we'll be right back. All right, cool. That took a lot less time than I thought it would. Now, this part is incredibly important. If you don't do it correctly, you're going to end up with a blue screen. As I mentioned before, external or internal, it's going to be the same. So pay close attention here. If you want to boot from the cloned target disk, you'll need to set the cloned target disk as the first boot device. You can either select automatically adjust the boot order to configure from the current target disk, or I will set the boot order myself later. I would highly recommend to select I will set the boot order myself later and then select reboot later. And then from here, we'll click finish. We'll close out of here and yes. And now we'll go ahead and right click on the start button, shut down or sign out and shut down. All right, so bring you back over here. Let's go ahead, open up the laptop again. They don't screw the battery in, so your laptop may be different. What we're going to do now, because if you don't do it, chances are the BCD is going to be on both drives and you're going to end up with issues later. So let's go ahead and swap the drives. But before we swap it, we need to do a quick test. Okay, I'm taking that drive out for now. Then I'm popping this one in. This will be its new home on this slot. Again, this one's faster. And for now, we're leaving that other drive out. We need to make sure that Windows knows what it's doing here. So now plugging it back in, turning it on, we can see that now we're booting up for the first time with the new drive. Now we'll go back into File Explorer, and I should have shown you before, but I'll show you as soon as we pop in the other drive. Go to this PC, and now you could see we have 1.2 terabytes free out of 1.86 terabytes. This is the new drive. And we can come over here just to make sure, disk management, and we can see that that is the only drive here. This is part of Bitdefender. So allowing it to boot by itself and actually booting into Windows tells us that that GPT partition and UEFI within the BIOS is all pointed correctly. So we're not going to have any kind of weird blue screen. The blue screen typically comes after you format your old drive, losing all of your data, and then when you restart, you have a blue screen and you can't do anything. You have to repair that BCD. So I'm saving you a ton of headache. Let's go ahead and shut it down, replace the drive, and we'll work on it again. So we'll shut down here. All right, so this will be the last time. Now we can actually screw it in when we're done. And again, we're putting it in the Gen 3 slot, so it's a little tiny bit slower, not much. And I'm not going to be using a heat sink on this just yet. I don't feel like it'll get too hot. If it does, we can always add a heat sink later. Super simple. Of course, every laptop is different. So one sec. Let's go turn her on. So now turning it on with both drives in. Now that we're in Windows, we can click on File Explorer and we'll go down to this PC and where'd the other drive go? That's okay. We'll right click on the start button, go under Disk Management, So here is the other drive, and you can see the Acer, the C drive here. Like Highlander, there can only be one. There can only be one C drive. So there can't be two, because then Windows won't know where to boot. So what I want to show you real quick here under Healthy Basic Disk on disk 1, this is disk 0, the 2 terabyte drive. We'll right click here and select Change Drive Letter and Paths, Add, and then we'll assign the following letter. Let's go ahead with D. Okay, that pops up real quick. At the same time, it pops up here. Here, this is why I updated the drive. We only had 20 gigs left. It was in the red. I didn't have any more space for my videos. What we can do, because coming under disk management, we can't delete this. We can't delete this. We can only delete this. And we reclaimed it, but we lost 1.2 gigs worth of space. Let's reclaim that. What I'm going to show you now is within the command prompt. You need to be incredibly careful. Type it out carefully. If not, you can end up ruining your install. So we're going to click on the start button and type CMD, right click on the command prompt and click run as administrator. All right. So here we type in Diskpart, and here we'll type in list disk. As long as you see Diskpart right over here. And here it's going to show you 3. It's going to show you disk 0, which is our 2 terabyte drive, 1,907 gigabytes, which is 1.9 terabytes. Then we have disk 1, which is 476 gigabytes, a 500 gig SSD, our original drive. And then we have disk 2, the Bitdefender partition it creates when you install Bitdefender. It's only 32 megs, teeny tiny. Disk 1 is what we're going to want to clear. So what I'm going to do, just to show it to you in action, we're going to select disk 1. Again, disk 1 is the 500 gig. It could be different on your machine. Make sure you're selecting your old drive that you want to erase, and then press enter. Now, disk 1 is now the selected disk. Perfect. Then we type in clean. After I hit enter, watch what happens here and what happens here. They're gone from here. Now here we have one big partition that is unallocated, and disk 1 is now unknown. Windows has no idea what it is. So we're going to right click here where it says disk 1 unknown, or whatever disk it is in your case, and click initialize disk. Then here we want to make sure we select GPT, GUID partition table, not MBR, and we'll click OK. Then here we still have unallocated, and it doesn't show up here. So we'll right click, unallocated, select new simple volume. Next, select whatever size you'd like here. The largest is the largest available. And then click next. Assign whatever disk you want. I'll do E so you can see a difference. Next. And we'll call it, hey, I'm new here. Make sure perform a quick disk format is selected, and then click next, finish. Within seconds, it's going to appear here. Hey, I'm new here. Perfect. And then here, just type in exit and exit again, and we're done. So now we've successfully cloned all of our data from our old C drive to our new, faster and larger drive, which is now our C drive. And we've made our old drive our storage drive, the slower drive. So now I can move over all of the videos I want right over here. I'm just gonna cut it and then paste it right in here. In this video, with the help of EaseUS Disk Copy, we've gone ahead and cloned everything from our C drive over to our new D drive. Then we made that D drive our new C drive, and now not only is Windows faster because our drive is faster, but now we have so much more space on our C drive, and then we have a total drive, now our E drive, so that we can store whatever we need for quick or just storage right there. So EaseUS Disk Copy has made this so much easier for us. We installed that second M.2 drive inside of the laptop. It's pretty simple. You want to check out this video to learn how to do that inside of a desktop for an M.2 drive, a regular 2.5-inch SSD, or even a 3.5-inch hard drive. This is Iggy with Thisbytesforyou, showing you how to use EaseUS Disk Copy to clone or copy all of your data from one drive to the other. Iggy with Thisbytesforyou out. See you guys.